Great. Welcome to the special meeting of the Poway Unified School District Board of Education on May 6, 2025. The time is 6:08. Please note this meeting may be recorded or broadcasted at the direction of the board, and the recording or broadcast may capture images and sounds of those attending the meeting. Now I invite you to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All board members are present, including Ms. Kiley. And now for a welcome to the public. Ms. Kiley.
Welcome to this special meeting of the Board of Education. Because this is a special meeting, per government code, the board may only hear public comments on agendized items. If you would like to address the board on an agendized item, please complete a speaker slip and indicate the agenda item number. All speaker slips must be submitted to the clerk of the board before the agenda item comes up. You will be called to the speaker table when the agenda item is reached. Each speaker is allotted 3 minutes, and each agenda topic is limited to 20 minutes unless waived by the board president. The Brown Act does not permit board action or extended discussion of any item not on the agenda, but your concerns will be referred to staff. With that said, welcome and thank you for coming.
Thank you, Ms. Kiley. And now for a report out of closed session, Clerk Plotsky.
There was no reportable action, and the closed session ended at 5:50.
Thank you. Because this is a special meeting per government code, the board may only hear public comments on agendized items. Speaking time is limited to 3 minutes per speaker, with a maximum of 20 minutes unless waived by the board president. Clerk Plotsky, do we have any speaker slips?
We do that, and they're all for 4.I.
Thank you. So on that note, we will move and to our budget update.
Thanks. Just a quick update since the last meeting. The biggest thing to note is that the statutory cost of living adjustment was finally set. We work with an estimate all year long, and then that number becomes known to us at the end of April. Unfortunately, the projected statutory COLA was lowered from 2.43% to 2.3%. When we apply that to the local control funding formula, that just fraction of a percent that it reduces actually lowers our anticipated revenue next year by another approximately $500,000. So we will be watching the governor's May revision next Wednesday. He releases that in a press conference in the morning. We'll be looking at the document. The questions that we have are, will the state fund the local control funding formula at the statutory COLA level? Will they choose to augment it above and beyond if there's excess state revenue? Right now, state revenue is looking good. Or will they just hold it at that amount? At the beginning of this year, it was actually projected to be somewhere around 2.9%. And so, from where we started at the year and our projections to where we are now, our revenue picture for next year has dropped by $2.5 million, just from that minor adjustment in the cost of living cost of living adjustment. There's also in his January proposal, he did propose a discretionary block grant. We've not put any designs on that yet because it hasn't made its way all the way through the legislative process. We felt since the beginning, since that proposal, that if state revenues did not look as good as they did earlier in the year, or if there is more federal revenue at risk that is meant for public education, that the state might have to reallocate some of its funding to fill that hole, that discretionary block grant is something that would be taken off the table to fill another need. So there are a lot of questions that we will get a little bit more clarity, because again, on Wednesday it is a revision to the proposal. that will then go back to the legislature as they work over the next month to determine what the final budget act will be. Some of the concerns that we have been hearing in Sacramento have actually been on the non-education side of the budget, particularly with Medicare being cut, which funds a great deal of Medi-Cal. And so while there is a minimum guarantee through Proposition 98, the state can suspend Proposition 98 if they are in a budget crisis and there is not enough revenue to meet that minimum guarantee. So a lot of chatter in Sacramento in the last 3 weeks about Medi-Cal and its impact on the state budget. So it remains to be seen if there will be a proposal to suspend Proposition 98. So, we're still in a situation where there are a lot of unknowns, probably more unknowns at this time of year than the last 4 or 5 years. I mean, going back to the beginning of COVID, I think is the last time we've had this much uncertainty on what the proposal will look like in May. In response to not only that lowered COLA, but also looking at the budget development cycle that we've been going through with departments. We've instructed district level department leaders to reduce their budgets. And so we will be placing, we've given them targets to reach in order to reduce their non-personnel side of the budget. The board will recall that last year, all of the reductions that were made for this budget year were non-personnel reductions. So we're looking at that. We've protected the school sites from that direction. So they will be receiving their normal formula site allocations next year without any reductions to those budgets. It's all at the district level. We've given department heads until tomorrow to come up with areas where they could find reductions. We will evaluate those against the targets, and if we don't reach those targets, we will be putting in negative placeholders in those budgets and continue to work on those as we enter into the next year so that we will reach our targets in those non-personnel reductions. So that's basically where we are. At the next regular meeting, we will have been past the May revision, so I'll have more information and can summarize what the May revision proposal looks like, what its impact would be on Poway Unified, and then what any legislative response has been in the 4 or 5 days since the proposal was released, so that we might have a better idea of where the final budget act might land when we get into June.
Thank you, Mr. Dill. Do I have any questions?
Not so much as a question, but just a statement. Finally clicking for me as you've been communicating with us, and even just tonight, that the COLA is sort of 2 separate actions. One is establishing the number, right, and then the second is whether or not it actually gets funded. So for me, for the public, maybe that.